Welcome back to Trust the Podcast. It's been a while, but we are back for the second season of our show. I'm your host, Jonah, joined as always by my co-host, Noah, and we've got a lot to discuss. We are in the middle of two very important playoff series in the NBA and the NHL. You might have heard of them. It's Spurs-Knicks over in the NBA Finals. Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Finals. And Noah, I'm sure you have thoughts, considering that you are a diehard Sixers fan. You've watched the Knicks for the past three games get very close to taking a 3-0 lead. They did end up winning two of these games. How are we feeling?
I mean, I'm doing okay as a Knicks, as I'm hoping the Knicks lose from the bottom of my heart. I feel okay right now. It's still 2-1, which means this game is near must-win for the Spurs. I mean, you never know 3-1, but still, I think that I feel okay. I think the Spurs have sort of turned a corner in the series. I think Knicks really need this game 4, because if it goes 2-2, and then it goes back to San Antonio, obviously that would mean the home team has lost all 4 games, but I think that I would feel confident in the Spurs winning the series, especially if they win tonight. I think tonight's the very important game.
I agree. Whoever wins this series will go, or whoever wins this game, will go on to win the series. I think it's just going to be will Wemby or won't Wemby. I think the Spurs go where Wemby goes, and if Wemby goes, there's nothing that the Knicks are going to be able to do about it. He had a great game, game 3, they won. He didn't have great games, game 1 and 2, they didn't win.
Yeah, I think that we'll see Jalen Brunson score 30 points no matter what happens. That's clearly shown. I think Jalen Brunson's gonna be good no matter what happens. I think that for the Knicks to really win, it will be dependent on how if they can stop Wemby, or Cat needs to wake up. I think, especially near the end of games, he's been really bad in the fourth quarter so far. I think that would be very important, and should be tonight's a very important night. Go Spurs!
Absolutely. Yeah. Game 4, MSG. This is about as big as you get.
Yeah.
There's only potential for one more game in MSG, so I'm expecting the Knicks crowd to be nuts, to say the least.
I mean, the real fans won't be in the arena. They'll be at one of the watch parties, and then the real fans can afford seats. But the fans will be loud-ish. Yeah, yeah.
Anything to hate. I mean, the Knicks fans, as much as I don't like their team, they are respectable fans in terms of their passion. I don't know if they're respectable in terms of their actions, but they're respectable in terms of passion.
I mean, well, let's get out of the way. I have no ill will towards anything they did to any Spurs fans after the game. I mean, don't wear a Spurs jersey, and I'm New York. But yeah, I think that I have all the respect for the fans that watched Emmanuel Mudiay and Taj Gibson play for this team. It's all Alonzo Trier, all of those guys. If you watch them play a Night Arts team, all respect. But you're probably at a watch party outside, and I think that I have all the respect for those fans. But nothing makes me happier than watching Knicks fans spend tens of thousands of dollars on seats and then watch them lose. It brings so much joy to my heart.
I think joy is a word for it. I mean, I have a little bit of empathy for them. If the Sixers were in the finals, I imagine the seats would be pretty insane as well. Maybe not that insane.
Not that insane, though. No.
I mean, but we say that, but the seats were only cheaper for New York fans to come to Philly because nobody believed in the Sixers. If the Sixers were actually good and people believed in them, they had already won the Eastern Conference, I think people would be getting back into Sixers mania, just like they did with the Phillies when they made their miracle run to the World Series.
There is something to say that I remember Phillies fans traveling to Houston to go to World Series games because it was cheaper to do that. I remember that happened briefly. But I think that there's New York, just one of the richest, it's the richest city in the country. I think no matter, especially Knicks fans, I think no matter how much the Sixers fans wanted to go, the only way that Knicks fans wouldn't invade our arena is if we didn't sell the seats to them or we had some sort of ban on them. But yeah, I don't see. I think that no matter how much Sixers got into it, the Knicks fans will always be able to pay more. So
you can say that again.
Yeah.
Back to the actual game, not about the fans or whatever, because as much as they want to believe that they impact the game, they really don't. Other than Wemby and Brunson and Cat, who's going to be the turning point player? And I'll include Fox in that conversation too. No Wemby, no Cat, no Fox, no Brunson. Who's going to be the turning point player, the X factor for either one of these teams?
Yeah, I think we saw Stefan Castle had a great first half
Yeah.
and not the best end of the game, especially in the third quarter. But yeah, I think he needs to do that again more so. Maybe a little more. Like you don't need him to be as good in the first half. You need him to be better in the second half. Um, I think that I like, especially on the Knicks side, how they use their rotation is really interesting to me. Coming off of having a coach like Tibbs and now having Mike Brown, I mean, and also, yeah, I don't know how much Landry Shamet really needs to play. He's been good, but I do think that how the bench players play will be important, especially from my Knicks side. And I think that Stephon Castle needs to step up and be the third guy, if not the second guy over Fox. And I think Derek Harper needs to be a little bit more efficient. Like he can't. I think at one point during the game he was like 3 for 9 from the field. It's just you can't be doing that in NBA Finals game where every shot counts. I think that they need to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more focused during the game, and make sure that keep the mistakes down for such a young team.
Yeah, you're spot on with the youth of this
Yeah.
Spurs team. It's unbelievable that they've made it this far. I mean, they are star-studded top to bottom. They're deep. The Knicks team, also the deepest team in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to talk about Josh Hart. I
Yeah.
think he's such an important player for this
Mm-hmm.
series, for the Knicks, and for the Spurs to stop. I mean, great, fantastic rebounder, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a player who really is like a glue guy, honestly,
Yeah.
on this Knicks team. And he's good. In addition to just being a good locker room guy, I think he's somebody that the Spurs need to keep in check
Mm-hmm.
offensively and defensively, just because he can do it all. I mean, I remember watching the Sixers series for him against him, not this time, but 2 years ago. He's getting
Yes.
every offensive rebound off the boards immediately. That's something that is invaluable, especially to generate momentum. He's a guy who I would look to kind of get the Knicks back into the swing of things after the loss.
Yeah, nothing makes me more mad than Josh Hart, 14 points, 13 boards, like 2 assists. Like it's just I hate looking at that stat line, and he really earns every single board. But I think if he gets going, the next one, like there's nothing worse than offensive rebounds. That can kill any momentum for the Spurs. I think that especially if the Spurs can keep him limited, I think they have a good chance to just keep the momentum going, win game 4, win game 5, win game 6. I've always said it, Spurs in 6. It's going to
I've also said
happen.
Spurs in 6.
So
I don't think that's going to happen. I think this series is going to 7.
we shall see. Should we move on to the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, let's do it. This is more
yeah.
my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Man,
So now it's 2-2.
It is.
Great 8 win for the Canes last night. I think that it should be interesting going to Game 5. What do you think what do you think the Golden Knights need to do to get back?
The Golden Knights to get a win, to go up 3-2, because I think it's necessary. I think that if the Canes win Game 5, they're going to win Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Knights need to do what they did for the first 3 rounds and just play elite defense in front of Carter Hart. Because Hart is a good goalie, he's not a world beater. He can't stop a Canes offense that is this good, getting that many shots and getting that many open chances. With this Canes team, they're just going to put shots on net, and some of them are going to go in unless the Golden Knights can stop those opportunities from the start, not even letting shots get on net. This Golden Knights team is a great defense. They have Shea Theodore, Rasmus Anderson they picked up at the deadline. They have the ability to do so. They just can't rely on Carter Hart being the best goalie in the league, because he's not the best goalie in the league. The Canes offense needs to be stopped by the Golden Knights defense. The Golden Knights offense, we know it can work. They just need to work on their defense, which we know they can do, but I don't see it happening. I think the Canes offense is the best offense I've seen in a really long time in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't allow 4 goals each game and expect to win a 7-game series. I mean, Carter Hart only really plays well when he's playing with a good team around him that limits the shots. And I think that if the Golden Knights have any shot, they need to hold the Canes, which is going to be really hard to do because obviously the Canes are really, really good offensively. But I think that either the Golden Knights need to score 6 goals or they need to actually start playing real defense if they want to win. But yeah, it could easily be done in 6, I think, especially if the Golden Knights slow down at all on offense. They're just done.
I think if the Golden Knights win Game 5 tomorrow, or no, the next day, they will win in 7. I think if the Canes win the Game 5, they'll win in 6.
So under this assumption, the Canes win Game 6 no matter who wins
I think so.
tomorrow?
I think the Canes will go into Vegas and win no matter what. It all depends on if Vegas can continue their streak of winning and then losing and then winning and then losing. Because that's what they've done. They won Game 1, lost Game 2. And then won Game 3, lost Game 4.
Yeah. 2 overtime games so far. How do you think that plays into it? Do you think both teams have won 1 overtime game? Do you think any team has a clutch factor?
I think it differs depending on who the Canes have in net. With Frederik Andersen, he's been there before, not in the finals, but he is a veteran goaltender. I think with him in net, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, he's missed practice. Brandon Bussey did well; he won Game 4. With Frederik Andersen in net, which as I said, I don't think is going to happen. The Canes are better in overtime because their goalie probably won't get as rattled. Brandon Bussey, it was an undrafted rookie a couple years ago making his first professional season. He bounced around in the AHL in the Bruins system before making his way to Carolina. He had a great season, that's no doubt, but the question is, can he win an overtime game in the Stanley Cup Finals? I don't think so, especially with how relentless this Golden Knights team has been. They didn't have a great regular season. They just snuck into the playoffs, but they are deep. They are a deep team, and their coach, John Tortorella, will expect nothing less than the absolute best out of them.
Yeah, I think, especially if you're asking Young, I go into 2 overtimes, like you had to in the game 3 went to 2 overtimes. I think that it's really going to be a hard ass if that happens again. I think to stop shots for over 20 minutes, it's especially with how high scoring the series has been. I don't see it going well.
This series has been so fun to watch because of the 2 offenses that are really going at it. I mean, Mitch Marner is running a lap around the world in terms of points in the playoffs. And this Canes team, it's not like they're not scoring. They're just getting scoring from a ton of different players. Jordan Staal is their captain. He's had 5 goals in the first 4 games. Logan Stankoven has been dominating the playoffs. Those 2 guys are probably not even their best players. Neither of them are on the first line. Sebastian Aho has been relatively quiet, but we know he can take over. Taylor Hall is looking for his first Stanley Cup. This Canes team, I don't see them losing the series if they can come up with Game 5. It's just they don't lose 2 games in a row. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Mitch Marner and how all the Leafs fans must feel watching him be the best player in the Stanley Cup, which is something the Leafs won't taste ever, so it's okay.
No, doesn't look like it. I mean, they are getting Gavin McKenna in a couple months, but
yeah.
With Marner, it seems like he's your locked and loaded Conn Smythe Trophy winner for the Stanley Cup Playoff MVP.
Yes.
If the Golden Knights win. For the Canes, it's a little bit more difficult. Stankoven dominated the early rounds. Staal's dominated the late rounds. Do you think they would go give it to Staal just because of recency and because he's the captain?
I was gonna say I think the captain certainly plays a factor in this, especially if they're coming. If this series goes 7 games, I think you gotta have a little bit of edge, so leadership for the team, and recency biases play a factor. I'd say performing well in the later rounds matters more than performing well in the earlier rounds because it's Stanley Cup finals. There's nothing really quite the same as it. And I think that Staal, especially it's not how these last few games go, but if Staal can knock down 2 more goals, I think he's got it, especially if they win in 6.
Yeah, if he can get 2 more goals, I think it's his if they win. I mean, he's not a top liner for that team. He's been
No.
playing like one, but
Hmm.
he's not a captain who's like Connor McDavid, where the captain is also your best player. This
Hmm.
Hurricanes team is so deep that he doesn't have to be their best player, and he's on his
Yes.
farewell tour. Probably, I could see him retiring after this year.
Especially with Ham win
Yeah, with
in
a
the
loss, it'd be
series.
hard to turn
Yeah.
away, but with a win,
Especially with how good this team is, I can't. It would be hard to imagine them not back in a similar position next year.
yeah.
I think that he will keep on playing, especially if they lose.
They've gone to the conference finals for the last couple of years. They
Hmm.
just couldn't get over the Panthers this year. The Panthers were
Yes.
without their top player, so they didn't make the playoffs. The
Hmm.
Hurricanes' nemesis were out of it, and they
Yeah.
made the finals. So maybe we'll see some more Florida action next year. But I'm glad they're not in it this year because it would be a little bit boring.
Yeah. But I think this is one of those series I think we'll look back on and be like, especially if the Florida's really good next year and makes it back, we'll be like, well, what? I can't Florida just be terrible again. Like, I
Yeah,
just wish they were, because this series is so much fun. And I
yeah.
mean,
This series
I
is
guess if you're a defensive purist, it's not great, but from a viewer standpoint, it's great.
Yeah, neither of these teams have a goalie like Sergei Bobrovsky. I
No.
mean, he was shutting down everything that the Oilers could possibly throw at him
Hmm.
in both Stanley Cup finals. Carter Hart's not doing that. Obviously, he's allowed 4 goals in each of the games. Brendan
Hmm.
Bussey's an undrafted rookie. I don't expect him to be able to
Hmm.
put on a performance where he really just stands on his head and carries his team. If either of these teams want to win, it's going to have to be because of their offenses.
Yes, I agree. Should we move on to our next segment?
I think so. I think so.
Um, okay, so I'll sort of introduce this. So we're going to go over a panic meter on how we feel about Philadelphia athletes right now from all sports, and I think that it will show how we feel about them right now, what concerns we sort of have, and how we can like comparing them, especially in the same sport, how we feel with Justin Crawford, Alec Boehm, how we sort of feel comparing them, how panicked we feel. I'll let Jonah start with the first guy.
Okay, so our first guy, you just mentioned Crawford and Boehm. I'm going to go to a different Philly. How about Andrew Painter? He has not
Mm.
looked good through his first couple starts. We thought that it was potentially a thing where he was being caught by Garrett Stubbs and
Mm.
Marchand that was really not that was really throwing him off his game. His most recent start was with Real Muto. He got absolutely shelled. So I'm
Yes.
kind of wondering what's going on with Painter here. I'm panicking about Andrew Painter.
Yeah, so I did mine on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not panicked. I think that well, from a short term, I am kind of panicked, but long term, it's only like 3 out of 10, and he's so young. I think that once he gets a little more consistency with the same catcher from start to start to start, I think it'll be a little bit better. I think we'll see a little bit more consistent, but I think that I'm more worried, especially as this team gets better and we look more likely to be in the playoffs. I think he might just not be usable. Judging how it's going lately, but I think it's still his first year. I think we gotta give him time. I think it's a long season. Just let him start.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
I would put it more at a 5 out of 10
Hmm.
because he was a guy who they touted as untouchable. And
Hmm.
I'm all for trading prospects in baseball. I think it's more likely than not that a prospect doesn't work out, especially with a
I
team
agree.
like the Phillies. Who was the last prospect that worked out for the Phillies? It's probably Nola. Just
Yeah.
not a good look. I think Painter, he needs a strikeout pitch. His
Hmm.
fastball's solid. It's also getting destroyed right now, but
Hmm.
I trust in his fastball to get better. He doesn't really have a good breaking pitch like Sanchez has his changeup, Duran has his splitter. Obviously, I'm not going to compare Andrew Painter to two of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball who are
Yeah.
on his team. They just happen to be on his team, but
Hmm.
I would say just with the past of Andrew Painter with the Tommy John and the like being called untouchable
Hmm.
now to just not being good,
Yeah.
I would put it at probably like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I
I see
still
the
think he can be good, but right now it's
I,
just
I've always been in the mind. I'm not the biggest Baylor. I've always been in the mind that you should just trade all of your prospects and just try to get as many stars as possible. So when you're team like Philly, like it really made no sense to me. Like, why would you consider someone that untouchable? Like, also like also like the best pitching prospect of all time. Like, you're a really good team now. Just trade him, get another good player. But I mean, I think if we're gonna keep our prospects around to a certain degree, especially if he's untouchable, then you got to give him time. I think that you
Yeah.
can't have it both ways and expect him to be really good immediately, but calm, like a great prospect. Yeah.
The
So should we
Phillies
do
made
an
their bed with painter. Now they have to lay in it and just
yeah?
see if it's good.
Um, yeah. Should we go to an eagle next?
Yeah, go ahead. It's up to you.
Let's go with Saquon Barkley. I want to hear your thoughts first, and then I'll sort of I don't know if we're on the same page here, so we'll see.
Panic meter in terms of Saquon has nothing to do with Saquon. It has
I agree.
more to do with a running back in his age 30 plus season.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a few running backs in this league who have made it that far.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley is the caliber of one who could make it that far, but I just gotta see it. Obviously, he was solid last year. He didn't rush for 2,000 yards, but he was
Yes.
still the driving force of the Eagles' offense for the most part. An offense that wasn't good, but he was still the driving force of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would stick my worries at about 4 out of 10 with Saquon. And it really doesn't have anything to do with Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
I trust that he's going to be good if he can stay on the field, which he has shown me no reason why he wouldn't. So I'll stick my panic meter at a 4 for Saquon.
Yeah, I think I put down a 5. I mean, it's sort of the same thing. Like I'm sort of concerned with guys like right now. I see Derrick Henry playing really well as his as he gets up there in age. But like Derrick Henry wasn't missing multiple seasons as a young player, which Saquon has done. We haven't seen injuries come up recently, and I hope they don't come back. But with someone as explosive as he is, I think that like it's a little bit worrying that he's getting older, and especially how they have 3 more years of him
Yes.
under contract. Um, I think that's a little bit worrying, but I think that until we see something bad out of him, I feel fine.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to move on to a Sixer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go the big fish. Let's go with Joel Embiid.
Yeah. This one, it's okay. It's somewhat to do with Joel Embiid, somewhat to do with his contract. I'm at like a 7 or 8 out of 10. This is it's getting a little bit worrying. Not I've sort of it's sort of crept up slowly. I feel like they beat the Celtics, which was really nice, and losing the next is what it is. But they're obviously 2 games away from winning the NBA Finals. It's not the worst loss, but I think that 3 more years of Joel Embiid like this can't be good. Like I just can't see it going well. I'm sorry, but like I'm of the mind I don't like attaching picks to players to get rid of their or deals, and because he's under. But like if you attach one first round pick to Joel Embiid to get rid of him, and you're getting salary for in return, I'm not saying no because he's just never gonna play more than half a season again. Even when he's healthy, he's still not healthy. Like especially we saw in this playoffs, he was healthy but not really, and you get hurt again. I think that I love Joel Embiid. I'll always defend him, but I think that if an opportunity arises to get off his contract, it has to be taken seriously. And I
Yeah.
think that I am worried, especially with how good I'm a little bit of worry with Maxi, but not really. And I think with how good Jay looks, I think that it's a little bit worrying that we have to deal with this for 3 more years before we can really get started on a new like team.
That makes a lot of sense, and I agree to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with a 6 for Embiid
Mm-hmm.
because I can't see them winning with Embiid, and that
Mm-hmm.
obviously makes me worried. I want to see my team win. But I also can't see them winning without Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
Everything good that has come out of the Sixers as of late has come through Joel Embiid. Everything bad that has come out of the
Yes,
Sixers also has come through Joel Embiid.
I
But the
agree.
team goes where he goes, and if he's not on the team, I don't think the
Mm-hmm.
team goes anywhere. So I just have to accept that Joel Embiid is probably going to be a Sixer for the rest of his career. And when he retires, that's when they need to, I don't
Yeah.
know, start over. I mean, he's been this team's
Mm-hmm.
identity forever. So I am just kind of rolling with him. I don't know where to go without him, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that there is something to that. I've been a little bit concerned with Max, even though they won the series this playoffs. We'll be concerned with him as a number one option. I think it's hard. I mean, you see teams with like small guards like Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton last year making it to the NBA finals, but those teams were built very well around that guy, and I think that unless if Embiid's gone, unless we magically create a really deep, good team, especially in the forwards and center department around Maxey, it's not going to be. It's not. They're not going to go that far. And I think that it's such a worrying thing with Joel Embiid. Like without Embiid, you'd be relying on just Maxey to become like the best player in the league for like a month, and that's your best hope. But it's hard. It's hard having 3 more years of paying him max contract. That I think
Yeah,
that's more the concern.
it's hard. I think my
Should we move
feeling
on?
with Joel Embiid isn't really panic. I think it's
Yeah,
more just
I see
like
that.
acceptance.
You sort of to panic, you have to have hope. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's sort of a sad thing
very
to
true.
say, but yeah, I think that we're sort of at a point where I'm more worried about long term, but I think there's not much to panic about in the short term.
I think that's
Um,
safe to say.
yeah, I'll give you the next one, Jonah. It's your wheelhouse. Let's go with Matvey Michkov.
Matvey Mishkov, my concerns with him aren't even really about him. It's more with all of the factors surrounding him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the expectations of Matvey Mishkov were too high. He was expected to be the Russian savior from a faraway land to come in
Mm-hmm.
and revitalize the Philadelphia Flyers from nothing. Because they're kind of bad now. Like, they
Yeah.
obviously had this miracle run to make the playoffs, but they're still not a great hockey team. They were really bad when they drafted Matvey
Yes.
Michkov. So he was expected to come in and instantly be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't supposed to be even on the team until this upcoming year. They drafted him with those concerns. For him to even be playing NHL hockey as a teenager means he should have already been exceeding expectations. But since he's not scoring at an Ovechkin pace, people are disappointed in him. And I think that's unfair. I think the other problem is with the disappointment from the fans comes disappointment from the coaching staff. Because if Mishkov is expected to do well, I mean, he has been doing well. He had the same amount of points as Owen Tippett this year. Owen Tippett is one of the Flyers, is known as one of the Flyers' top scorers. And Mishkov had the same exact amount of points in fewer minutes. Tangent aside, if Tocchet isn't going to play Mishkov, it's just going to feed into itself. Mishkov got scratched in a playoff game. I don't think that should ever happen. He's the most skilled player on this team aside from Zegras. So even if he's not going to play minutes, you can't scratch him. You,
Yeah.
you can't. You drafted him highly knowing that he was going to you were going to live or die by this honestly this kid. I'm really against the scratching of him in that Pittsburgh playoff series. I kind of get it because he wasn't playing well, but the only reason that scratching is such a huge situation is because he was expected to do too much.
Yeah, I
So
think
I mean,
the
I haven't even done my panic meter.
oh
I'll
really
put it at like a 5.
really I mean yeah, I don't have any panic in him. But the weird lack of belief from like the fan base and like the organization is so odd. It's just like I'm like, are we watching the same guy? It's like he's young. He's played very well so far. Like in any other sport or team, like people would just be hopeful for his development. Like it's not like people are like expecting VJ Edgecombe to be the best player in the league next year, and then like we're just gonna bench him because he's not that right now. It's such a weird thing. Like give him time, play him more, and don't mess with his confidence level by I not letting him play in a playoff game. If he's not playing well, the only way to stop get out of a slump is to play well. Like in
Yep.
baseball, you don't get out of a slump by just sitting on the bench. You get out of a slump by getting a hit or a home run. I think that like the way they've been treating him is so weird, and I hope it doesn't stunt his growth.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. I mean, it's crazy because he should have surpassed all expectations just by playing in North
Yes.
America. But the expectations are that he should be dominating. He's 20 years old.
Hmm.
Like, come on. You got to
Yeah.
give him some time. He's got a whole career ahead of him. The Flyers are not built to win right now. They're built to win when he's in his prime.
Hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't need to be playing like he's in his prime when he's 20. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Everyone needs to calm down. We won a playoff series this year. It was fun. Now let's just like let's relax. Let him develop. Let the whole team get better over time. There's a lot of hope, I think, and I think that people
Yeah.
need to realize that.
Obviously, there are some. I don't know what the truth to them is. Trade rumors. I doubt that there's any truth to them.
Hmm.
If they were to trade Mishkov, I would have a really hard time believing in this team, just because Mishkov is the most talented player that the Flyers have drafted in a long time. And to throw him away when he doesn't produce in year 2 would be pretty ridiculous. I don't think that's going to happen, though. So,
Yeah.
Daniel, you're listening to my call.
If Philadelphia traded like Jared McCain and met by Michkov in 1 year, I think that the city might implode.
At least we have Howie, right?
Yeah, at least we have Howie. Speaking of Howie, I have the next player who I am not happy with Howie about. The Philadelphia Eagles own Jake Elliott. I am not pleased he's still on the team. I'm got the. I'm sorry. I'll give it to you in a second, Joe. I gotta get some stuff.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
Hands up. Hands are off.
I think my panic over him is 9 or 10. I don't know how to get much higher. He's not good. He's just not good. Why is he still on the team? What has he done to show you he can't make long field goals? He's not consistent enough. Like my one flaw with Howie Roseman, now that he's gone, now that he's not like drafting terrible guys anymore, just making great trades. So that's what he used to do. Now that he's actually drafting well. There's this weird thing. I don't know how much it happened, but I feel like I know from time to time. They keep guys who are like washed, I would say, around for too long because they're their guys. They're like Eagles guys, and I think that like we need to stop this. Like this is a contending team. As bad as last year was, or I guess disappointing. King has become more and more important each year, and you cannot argue with me that Jake Elliott should still be on this team. What has he done? I don't get it. Why is he still on the team? They could draft someone better. They could trade for someone better. They could sign someone better. It makes no sense.
He's not even good in the playoffs.
No.
Like, I get keeping him around if he can make that clutch kick. I mean, he was good in the Super Bowl, but he wasn't good this year.
Yeah. No. And what was the
I
streak?
don't get it. I'd probably put him at a 9. Just because you can't have a 10 out of 10 panic for a kicker. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's just like I guess it's still a kicker, but it's such a weird thing. Like I trust Howie so much, but it's such a weird thing for Howie just not to do anything about this. Like you just expect that like didn't work out. We gave him as much chance as we could. It's time to move on. This team needs to move on and get a new kicker, especially in a day and age where it becomes more and more important, and the good kickers become really good. I just don't get it. Like it just seems to be like we know it's a liability, and next year when he kicks like 65, makes 65% of his field goals, we're gonna be looking back and like why did we not get a new kicker over the off season? And I think it's just sad.
The best kicker in the NFL came from the USFL, and before that, he came from soccer.
Yeah,
They can find somebody. They can find somebody.
yeah. You cannot tell me that like there's a guy in the UFL now it's called
Yeah.
who made a 60-yard field goal last week. Can we give him a tryout at least? Like get a kicking competition going at least. If Jake Elliott can beat someone else in kicking competition, I'm okay with keeping around for one more year. But that you're not even bringing anyone else in, like to show him that he's on the hot seat a little bit, is just bad. It's just like mismanagement.
The kicker that the Eagles brought in for a week when Jake Elliott was hurt in the Super Bowl year, not last Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl they lost to the Chiefs. The kicker that they brought in for a week is one of the best kickers in the NFL. now because
Yeah,
like they can find somebody. Jeez, dude,
I feel like
it gets me too angry
yeah,
because it's such an easy fix.
yeah, especially with like it just doesn't make sense to me because like I feel like the gap. There's obviously very good kickers at the top, but the gap between the like 16th best kicker and like the 40th best, who's not even on an NFL roster, is not that big. Like you see kickers get hurt, and the random guy like Zane Gonzalez, who thought was out of the league 5 years ago, somehow is back and making 58-yard clutch field goals. Like there is someone better than this. I don't get it.
Side tangent: how is Youngwei Koo on a team?
Yes, like it's the same thing with Jake. Like, it's just
He's
like
terrible.
these guys aren't good. They're just not good. Like move on. And if someone's not good, cut them again. If you want to use 5 kickers in a season, if it takes you 5 tries, I'll deal with 5 bad kickers during the regular season and find them one that's good. But not trying out anyone who's new. You're never going to find someone who's good. That's how you find these random kickers who are good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
done with them.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
You're absolutely right. I think we're getting too angry over this. We need to move on. How
Yeah.
about Trey Turner?
Yeah. I'm mixed. I think that there are concerns, but he's going to be around here forever. I think that we've already seen the worst of him probably while he's going to be in a Phillies uniform when he first got here. I think with the whole Phillies team, I'm just sort of like wait and see. I think that how bad this year started and how well they've been playing since they fired Rob Thompson. I think that I'm with such a long regular season. I'm hesitant to be too concerned. I'm more willing to let people work it out and see how it goes over the course of the season. So I just hope he starts playing really well and that things go well. And if not, it's an off-season conversation we can have.
Yeah. I think I'm a little bit more worried than you are just because Trey Turner, I mean, this is more of a problem that at the time that they signed him. They signed a 30-year-old dude whose best asset is his speed. It's
Mm-hmm.
obviously not a great
Mm-hmm.
look. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Trey Turner's a good baseball player. He's
Mm-hmm.
solid defensively. He's been this shortstop. He's going to be this
Mm-hmm.
team's shortstop until he retires. That's just it's guaranteed at this point, especially with Aiden Miller's issues.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to have an OPS in the 600s and for the dude who won the batting title last year to be
Mm-hmm.
batting 225, it's not a
Mm-hmm.
great look.
No.
But he's been bad and then good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that he could be bad and then good again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not counting out Trey Turner. He's not like a Bohm who I'm saying he's never going to hit again.
Yes.
I mean, it's Bohm. He had that 1 year. Good for him. But Turner, we've seen him have his ups and downs, and
Yeah.
multiple of them, multiple ups, multiple downs. So I trust that there can be an up at the end
Mm-hmm.
of this down.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna be around forever. So I mean,
Yes.
just we'll see what happens.
And they can't trade him. So there's
Yeah,
no
no.
point in even talking about a what if.
Yeah, I agree.
It just sucks that he's still batting second.
Yeah, I think it's still the regular season. They got plenty of games. I would just try some stuff out. Bat him in like fifth or something if you want to try something weird. I think that this team is sort of going to be hovering in a wild card spot for a while, if I had to
Braves are
guess.
too good. They're not winning the division this year.
Yeah. I think that let's just try stuff out. I mean, baseball playoffs are so weird. Like it's a 162 game regular season for a 3 game series, a 5 game series, and then 2 7 game series. I think that if we can just find something that works well and we can get hot at the right time, there's no reason this team can't do anything they haven't done before. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
If I saw myself from the future in a time machine from November of 2026 and he came back and told me Trey Turner just won World Series MVP and batted 350 across the playoffs, yes, I'd be surprised, but also I'd be like, yeah, that's the guy we know. He can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Where should
I
we go?
think we've covered most of our bases.
Yeah, I don't think we have anyone
Two
else.
Eagles, two Phillies, the
Yeah.
most important Sixer and the most
Mhm.
important Flyer.